Alrighty. Dun 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 dun. Youch. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. I'm your host, as always, AfroMattt. Today we got another jam-packed episode full of goofs, gaffs, laughs, hoots and hollers, general buffoonery, and the occasional horseman of the apocalypse. So let's just get right in. Really. Oh, actually, no. I'll start off with a story time, and this one, if you are if you have like a back the blue sticker on your car, you might want to skip forward because I may have a few choice words for our the boys in blue who serve and protect. Actually, literally this happened today. Not even 6 hours ago. Just literally driving, and actually, my girlfriend was driving. I was reading in the passenger seat, but I see a truck coming towards us, oncoming traffic, on the other side of traffic, not literally barreling towards us, but like on the other side of traffic coming towards us, and they flashed us, and I'm like, oh, this guy's a homie. He knows what's up. So I told Tasha, I'm like, yo, just chill on the gas. There's probably a cop up here. So we chill, doing everything right. We know that there's a cop up there. So we're cruising past, and then he pulls out behind us, and so I didn't know he pulled out, but then Tasha's like, he's following us. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, well, we're going down this street anyways, we gotta go. I'm like, we gotta go west anyways. Let's just take this left and just head west, right? And so we took that, and then he followed us there. So now we're just cutting through like this whole neighborhood area. It's like stop sign, stop, pause, go, stop, pause, go, stop, pause, go. And we break out into like another main street. And I'm like, well, we could use some gas, so let's take a left here. So we take a left into the gas station. Lo and behold, whoop, 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 lights. So we pull into the gas register, whatever gas dispenser, and he's there behind him. I pretend that I don't really see him. I get out of the passenger seat to fuel my vehicle. And he's like, oh, whoa, hey, sir. And I'm like, oh, whoa, what's going on here, man? I think I said something similar to that. I'm like, whoa, what's going on? So we're just doing a standard traffic stop. I'm like, oh, what's up? And he's like, hey, ma'am, can you bring over your license and registration, please? I'm like, what's the deal here? And he's like, just hold on. He's like, take your hand out of the pocket. Because I had my hands in my pockets. I'm like, whoa, okay. So now I'm leaning against the car, waiting to fuel. And I go to grab the nozzle, and I'm like ready to start. And he's like, whoa, hold on there, bucko. This guy was like really nerdy. He looked like me with like buzz cut. Probably, I think he had these same glasses. He looked like a nerd. Dude probably got bullied in high school. Has something to prove. He's got to be the big guy. Got a big swinging dick syndrome. But he's like, all right, just sit tight. You can fuel later. I'm like, all right. So then I go and sit in the passenger side with like just chilling with the window down. And he comes to my side and he's like, hey sir, do you have your ID? And I'm like, why do you need my ID? He's like, oh, well, I'm just asking. You have the right to refuse. I'm like, yeah, you're not getting my ID. You don't need it. So then he's like, well, can I get that registration? I'm like, yeah, sure. Here it is. Here's proof of insurance. Whatever you do, just go back, type in whatever you do, go do whatever. 5 minutes go by. I'm sitting there. Tasha's obviously frustrated and emotionally distraught. Who wouldn't under police interrogation? Literally followed us for like 2 miles and pulled us over. He's like, oh, whoa, well, I'm just giving you a warning. He's like, this is just a warning, because she's like, she's crying at this point. He's like, it's just a warning, no, just, and she's like, well, so what happened? What did we do? And he's like, well, you got to be careful. You got to put your blinker on 100 feet before you turn. And he's like, you actually broke the law twice. Once when you did it there going west, when you took that first left, and you did it just now going into this gas station. And so I'm like, so how do I gauge 100 feet? He's like, well, it depends if you're going fast or going slow. And I'm like, so I've got to memorize the speed ratios, speed to feet ratios. It's just like the dude does not. Police don't have brains. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Police do not have brains. They have something floating around in liquid, in between, behind their eyes, between their ears, just bouncing around in there, but it can't form like logical connections. It's like it has a hard time, coming to conclusions, and it like makes weird assumptions. It does a good job at mimicking a brain, but it is not a functioning brain of anyone. So I finished fueling, and he's still there, and he's got this guy in like a hoodie. There's like a guy in just like a regular hoodie, just chilling in the passenger seat of the cop car, and I make eye contact with him. He looks like this guy. He literally looks like this guy. Let's see. Bad. Friend of, what the hell is Jesse? Oh, Jesse's friend. What's that guy's name? Yeah, this guy. Badger. He literally looks like Badger. Badger from Breaking Bad. This guy. Here, I'm gonna put a picture of him up, but if you're not watching, he literally looks like this guy chilling in the passenger seat. He has a hoodie on, and he looks like, this is him. This is the guy chilling in the seat. Just Badger. So Badger's chilling in the seat, and I'm like, eye contact. I'm like, what? Who is that? That guy's not a cop. He does not have a vest on. He's just literally vibing in the seat. I'm like, is that someone you arrested and just said, hey man, I'll Uber you? So then he comes over to our window, and he's like, he does the thing where he like leans in. He's got his hand on the roof, and he's like, you're lucky you're getting off. This is just a warning. We're not doing a speeding ticket and anything like that. He's like, you just got to be careful about when you put that blinker on. And I'm like, hey man, are we good to go? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, then bye. Like literally said that. Like, hey, then go. Bye. We're done here. Okay, you pulled us over for no reason. And Tasha, of course, she's frustrated. She snaps at him, says, and I'm not going to hold her back. She's saying all the right things. She's like, you literally followed me for no reason. You followed me for a mile down the block, and then you pulled us in when we were getting gas. And he's like, and then before he left, he said, how about you guys get some better attitudes? I'm like, what a douche. This is why, like, I've had friends tell me, like, yo, dude, you're really, your anti-cop rhetoric is really disappointing. Look, if you want me to like cops, how about you show me a couple good cops? Show me any. I've had almost every single interaction with a cop has been less than satisfactory. I will say that. My first experience with a cop was a woman cop. Anytime you're getting pulled over by a woman, almost a guarantee that you're going to get a ticket of some sort. She comes out. She looks like, she's got that classic, crew cut. She wants to be one of the boys, but the boys don't really accept her. So she tries really extra hard at her job. So she comes in. She's got her hands, on the vest, like, I caught you going 15 over. I'm going to give you a traffic law violation. Can I see proof of insurance? And of course, this is my first time getting pulled over. I'm like 16 going to high school. And I'm like shaking. I'm like literally vibrating, like shaking. And I give her it, and I'm like, and then she takes it, and then she gives me the ticket. I just sit there stunned on the side of the highway, just like crying. So yeah, that was my first police confrontation. And then this one was my most recent. Almost every single interaction in between has been some sort of a negative reaction. Even cops that aren't cops, like mall cops, have been dicks. I literally, when I was in, and you can probably find it, I probably talked about it in this podcast. When I was in Minnesota, rest in peace George Floyd, I was in the mall walking around with the mask down, which we now know were useless. Or, I mean, it's COVID, so really, big deal, right? But the cop, the mall cop comes over to me and he says, "Hey, I don't want to have to kick you out." Something along those lines. I'm like, for my mask? And he's like, "Yes, pull that up." Christ almighty. The people that become police officers are just sad individuals with something to prove. Look, be a healthy individual, and if you have something to prove, just start a podcast and rant at a camera by yourself, right? If you have some sort of like complex where you don't feel like you belong anywhere except on a beanbag on the floor talking to a camera, that's like, you don't have to join the armed forces to serve and protect. I kind of want, I should, like, I feel like from now on, if I get pulled over, I'm just going to be like, "Hey, man, thanks for serving and protecting this county. I was a major..." Dude, the guy asked if I had weapons in the car. Do I look like I have weapons in my car? Yeah, do you count 24 hot sauce packets from Taco Bell as weapons? Because if so, yeah, I'm stocked up. I mean, Christ almighty. All right, we're getting into it. So, yeah, let's just start up the podcast here. Let's start up with going into the news. That was my little rant against the police, our police force here. That guy's really doing a good job. Big ups to that guy. I don't even know what his name. He looked like an Ethan. If you've ever seen an Ethan, he looked like how an Ethan would look. Like, imagine in your head right now an Ethan. And now put glasses. You're probably already imagining someone with glasses on. Put glasses on the Ethan. Now put him in a army green vest with lots and lots of pockets. They have lots of pockets. Who knows what's in all those pockets? Probably 15 cans of like pepper spray. It's just all those buttons that just says, those buttons that you press and it says like, "That was easy," but it's just they all just say the N-word when you press them. His pockets are just filled with those. But yeah, he's got pockets on the back when he turns around. He has so many pockets. I'm like, you can't even reach those pockets. Those pockets you cannot reach. Who's gonna open a pocket on the back of their vest? He's got like he's got pockets on his like thing, and he's like turning knobs on his walkie-talkie, on his belt and stuff. I'm like, dude, you don't, like, man, like that guy goes home and probably just like logs into GTA and then just becomes a cop on GTA. That guy goes home and he role plays being a cop in a video game in his off hours, and he pulls people over and he's like, "Sir, you know why I pulled you over? You're supposed to be putting on your blinker at least 100 feet before you turn left, right here." I mean, Christ, he's literally the kind of guy that would play GTA and role play as a police officer. There are those people that role play in GTA, and he's like, "He's got a gun." Let's see, police, RP, and these people are the saddest people. GTA 5. These people are the saddest people. If you do this out of like, if this is like satire, But no, these people take it super seriously. They got like call outs and stuff.
Damn, you need to get back in your...
With this guy.
Yeah.
Here he goes. Due to explicit content, viewer expressions. This was posted 5 years ago. That's 3 million views.
Welcome to tonight's patrol. Of course, it is a 1095 as usual. We still have bolos out for a LSPD charger.
What if someone just came in and rammed out all these police officers? In GTA, this is literally in GTA, and that's something. In GTA, you can commit mass acts of violence, and it's not frowned upon because that's the point of GTA. It's almost a violence simulator. Okay.
At this time, I guess we are good to go 10-8.
Good to go 10-8.
Adam 27.
So what you're witnessing right now is a man playing a video game, doing highway patrol. And there's other people in this video game that are going to have to suffer this man's fantasy of being a highway patrolman.
1011 East Union Road, going to be out with a orange Dukes. 1028 is going to be 4-9 Ocean Robert John 129. Occupy one time.
10-4, stand by for 28.
So, I mean, they're talking to
Stand by
each
for
other.
28. Got it. Beautiful.
I almost hit a coyote
Can I
right
get,
across the highway. You want an
One Adam
additional?
27.
27.
So I want you to get him.
Stop. 28, one ready.
He's doing a traffic stop here. So we got a traffic stop here.
28 is going to be Sam Hayward,
This guy's license plate in the game has been customized to Shaft.
Adam, Frank, Tom.
Copy.
I'll just wait for your 28 to come back, Bugs.
Or can you roll at 1032 code 3?
10-4, 1 Alpha 1. Can you respond 1097 code 3?
So yeah, this is how people spend their days. This guy spends his day, logs in, and just plays as a cop. And that guy that pulled me over 100% role plays as a cop in GTA. And then wakes up and lives out his literal fantasy in real life on actual people. So I have one thing to say to you. Piece of shit. Dick bag. Okay. Let's go into the apocalypse here.
The second biggest bank failure in U.S. history just occurred. In the span of just a few short days, Silicon Valley Bank closed down and was taken over by the U.S. FDIC. Before the collapse, it used to be the U.S.'s 16th largest.
Sorry, I forgot to play the news music. We are in the news segment. Okay, we got past the story time segment. We are now entering the news segment. So, bank failure. This guy explains it pretty well, so that's why I grabbed him. And this guy usually explains things pretty well.
And was taken over by the U.S. FDIC. Before the collapse, it used to be the U.S.'s 16th largest bank, and it had over $200 billion in assets as of last year.
$200 billion in assets wiped out.
This is the single largest U.S. financial institution to fail since the height of the financial crisis almost 15 years ago.
2008,
so
baby.
what actually happened, and how did we get here? It all started this past Wednesday when Silicon Valley Bank announced that it sold a bunch of securities at a loss, and it would sell another $2.25 billion in shares in order to shore up its finances. Now, this caused quite the panic because if the bank already has enough money to cover everyone's deposits, why would they need to raise more money? And the simple answer is that they didn't, which caused a bank run. As you might have guessed from the name, Silicon Valley Bank has a lot of tech startups that use it. And when the Wednesday news broke...
So a bank run is when everyone hears bad news about either the economy or, I guess, in this case, the bank itself. It's not... They obviously don't have enough to pay the people the money that's in the bank, which I always thought was weird. Like, hey, so the bank, this is like a Seinfeld sketch or something. It's got to be. It's like, so you take the money, but you do not hold the money. Seinfeld, when he, there's a Seinfeld sketch where he's like, so you can take the reservation, but you cannot hold the reservation. Seinfeld reservation bit. This is what I like. So this is Oh, it's for car reservations, not a restaurant.
I don't understand. I made a reservation. Do you have my reservation?
Yes, we do.
So this is me going to the literal bank. Hey, I don't understand. I have money.
I'm sorry, we have no midsize available at the moment.
Sorry, we have no money here.
I don't understand. I made a reservation. Do you have my
I don't understand. I made a deposit.
reservation?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, we ran out of cars.
Unfortunately, we ran out of money.
But the reservation keeps the car here. That's why you have the reservation.
I mean, it's a perfect analogy. I'll just let it play. You're probably smart enough to understand the analogy, I hope.
I don't understand. I made a reservation. Do you have my reservation?
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, we ran out of cars.
But the reservation keeps the car here. That's why you have the reservation.
I know why we have reservations.
I don't think you do.
I don't think you understand. I understand why we have banks. Oh, I don't think you do. Where's the money?
If you did, I'd have a car. See, you know how to take the reservation, you just don't know how to hold the reservation.
Yeah,
And
of course. You know how to take the money that I deposit, but you don't know how to hold the money that I deposit.
that's really the most important part of the reservation, the holding. Anybody, the most important part.
This is a good part.
You just don't know how to hold the reservation. And that's really the most important part of the reservation, the holding. Anybody can just take them.
Let me speak with my supervisor.
This is Silicon Valley talking with literally no one. And then it goes in the scene. She goes and talks to her manager, and it's just her talking nonsense behind a glass window. But yeah, no. So that's the Silicon Valley collapse. Apparently the 16th. I've never heard of them, but apparently the 16th largest bank in America. Does it spell good news for the real estate market? I expect my phone calls to be more difficult.
A bunch of VCs started frantically trying to contact their portfolio companies to take their money out. Because if you try to think about the two outcomes, best case, nothing happens. Worst case, you lose all your money. So it's better to be safe and try to get your money out. This caused this.
I think, and my bank, the bank I bank with, is pretty small, so it's probably not in the range of being targeted by a bank run. But I think I might do a bank run tomorrow just in case. Like this guy says, worst case scenario, you put your money back in once it blows over. Worst case scenario, you have zero money.
Stock price to absolutely crater. It dropped over 60%.
Also, why do banks have stock
and then
prices?
Another 20% after hours. By Friday, the stock was halted, and the FDIC decided to take over the bank. Silicon Valley Bank tried to find a buyer. It tried to raise more capital, both efforts which failed. And what's interesting to note is that this is also the fastest bank run that's ever happened because
That's
we're able
cool.
to withdraw our money digitally.
That's cool.
Before, people had to physically go to the bank and try to withdraw their money, so it would take a lot longer.
Imagine
the
physical
FDIC
withdrawals.
does insure deposits up to $250,000. Unfortunately, only 2.7% of all total deposits were under $250K. This is incredibly terrible news for a lot of tech startups. Most of these companies will not be able to make payroll in the next week.
Yep.
And who knows
Lots
how
of
long
people. Yeah, startups going out of business. Okay. So let's see. We got. I mean, market collapse. We hate to see it, but I mean it's inevitable. Here's how the second biggest bank in the United States history collapsed in just under 48 hours. It began Wednesday when it surprised investors with news that it needed to raise $2.5 billion. That's good. That whenever you see that, you know it's good news. Hey guys, we need about $2.5 billion. So yeah, Silicon Valley Bank. Okay, now this is actually interesting here. So Silicon Valley Bank. So this guy, Joseph Gentile. Joseph Gentile is the Chief Administrator Officer at Silicon Valley Bank Securities. Prior to joining the firm in 2007, Mr. Gentile served as the CFO for Lehman Brothers, global investment bank where he directed the accounting and financial needs within the fixed income division. Prior to that, he served as a CFO to Global Corporation Investment Bank and Bank of America, where he led the capital markets division. In addition to that, he was CFO for Private Bank. Previously, Mr. Gentile spent more than 10 years at JP Morgan in various financial management positions, including global head. So, I mean, this guy, he's hopping banks, and the last 2 banks he has been at have been the number 1 and number 2 largest bank collapses ever. I say we keep a close eye on Joseph Gentile's next job. Very close eye. Could prove invaluable in the coming years. I mean, this guy, you should avoid this guy like the plague after this. Every job this guy has had has ended in some sort of collapse of the bank. Also, I saw this on Reddit. Of course, no clue on how valid it is, but this was an email, a quote-unquote email that this guy just received from his bank. To our valued clients, in light of recent industry events, the last few days has caused uncertainty in the financial markets. We want to make a moment. Of course, this will make the rates go up because uncertainty is always bad. We want to take a moment to reinforce the safety and stability of First Republic Bank, reflected in the continued strength of our capital, liquidity, and operations. Our capital remains strong. Our capital levels are significantly higher than the regulatory requirements for being considered well capitalized. Our liquidity remains strong. In addition to our well-diversified deposit base, we continue to have access to over $60 billion of available unused borrowing capacity at Federal Loan Bank and the Federal Reserve Bank. We are here to fully serve you. We stand ready to process transaction and wires, fund loans, answer questions, and serve you for overall financial needs, as we do every day. For almost 40 years, we have operated a single, straightforward business model centered at taking extraordinary care of our clients. We have successfully navigated various macroeconomic and interest rate environments, and today we have among the industry's highest rates of client satisfaction and retention. We are here to help you accomplish your financial objectives and provide you with extraordinary service at all times. Please feel free to reach out to your First Republic banker or wealth manager if we may be of service. It's a privilege to serve you. Jim Herbert, founder and executive chairman at Mike Roffler, CEO and president. So obviously other banks are kind of getting scared. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see what will happen. Keep an eye on big banks. Keep an eye on big banks for me, wouldn't you? All right, here. This is pretty interesting. We love to see what's going on in our favorite country, East Palestine, over in Ohio. Ohio, as you know, has been ravaged in the last few weeks by chemicals. They've been their major business crashed a car and then burned all their chemicals in their backyard. Super cool, super awesome of them to do that. That's not many people would be as thoughtful as them to burn in their backyard. But I saw this video, and so apparently, I mean, I guess train derailments are kind of common, but I saw this video and this guy just like casually records a train derailment like on his phone for TikTok. So here we go.
Safety across the country.
This is the moment 20 cars peeled off the track near Springfield, Ohio. Residents nearby were asked to briefly shelter in place. Today, local officials say
This guy.
There is no Springfield, Ohio.
Like, so
across the country.
This is the moment 20 cars peeled off the track near Springfield, Ohio.
Jesus Christ.
Residents nearby were asked to briefly shelter in place. Today, local officials say there is no public risk.
So I heard something that's interesting. So Ohio, of course, Central America or Central United States. Their them and the Ukraine are two of the largest food producers for America. So I'm not saying Ohio is like a major point in that, but I'm saying it's weird that lots of chemicals are being spilled. They're like totally blowing up this small town they're essentially making it a biological hazard to live in a small town in Ohio. And I keep on saying they. This is not the Kanye they. Okay, this is the royal they, not the Jewish they. I want to make that very clear. I feel like it was clear, and now I've just kind of convoluted it, and now you think I might be saying the Kanye they. It is not the Kanye they. It is the royal they, as in whoever it is. Yes, not the Jews is what I want to say. I want to get that out of the way first, so my YouTube video stays on.
A spike in incidents?
We are not.
So, like I said, we'll be keeping a close eye on Ohio here going into the next few weeks. It's always interesting to see what kind of weird diseases. I feel like coming soon we'll start seeing like ads or you or a loved one in East Palestine, Ohio, in 2023, March through whatever. Well, you might be entitled to a large cash settlement. Do you or a loved one have cancer of the lungs or skin cancer from rashes? Did you get rashes in March of 2023? Well, you might be entitled to a large cash settlement. Did you literally drink water in Ohio in March 2023? Well, you might be entitled to a large cash settlement. Please call this, some lawyer is going to cash in and it's going to happen. We might even see some sort of interesting drama documentary about the whole scenario starring Mark Ruffalo or something, it'll be interesting. But so let's lighten this up. Let's get my boy Mr. Beast. So this is the worst. So this is not Mr. Beast. I call this guy Mr. Mark of the Beast because this guy is a demon, a plague to the world. This video is called "I spent 100 hours in the world's poorest country."
This is the worst, poorest country, and there is a lot of bad things said about it. That's why
There's a lot of bad things said about it, and these kids are drinking mud. He's taking videos of these kids drinking mud. Actually, these kids are actually just in East Palestine.
A lot of bad things said about it. That's why I'm going to spend the next 100 hours here to see with my own.
I'm gonna spend the next 100 hours here, and he's got the emojis to see if it's poor or not. Okay.
We saw something that we didn't expect. The policeman was asking us to give him money for no reason. So I was wondering if the rumors are true. And after 3 hours, we made it out of the airport to meet our guy.
Welcome, Burundi. You seem tired.
Yeah. It was already 5 a.m. in the morning and the sun rose. While being in the car, our guide said something shocking. That the average salary of workers in Burundi is
around 200,000.
It's $100.
Yeah, it's around 100.
In the United States, it costs around $50 to get a haircut. Let's see how much it costs here.
Are you ready? No.
Getting a haircut.
Outside to see Nassim haircut.
How much is normal a haircut?
1,000. $1 is 2,000.
You got
$1.
50 cents haircut.
Actually,
Yeah,
50-cent haircut.
Nassim, you look
Nice. They're cracking jokes. I mean, this is fun.
here now. You agree, guys, right? Here's your 50 cents.
This guy seems kind of... This guy's like... And he's like Mr. Beast. He doesn't even give away a lot of money. He actually just pays this guy 50 cents.
Thank you. When we left the barber shop, I saw...
He didn't. I was half expecting him to give him like 100... Like $5 or whatever. Like 10 times the price of the... But he literally just paid 50 cents for the haircut and left. Okay.
So something that I wasn't expecting.
This is a house of a person here.
Look at this. People actually live here. Oh my gosh, this is an actual...
Yeah, dude. Yeah, this is... it's extreme poverty. Oh my gosh, people actually live here. Yeah. Yeah, this is a third world country. Hey, welcome to a third world. What is it? What do the comments say? They say, take notes, Twitter. This is what poverty tourism looks like. I've been pissing myself laughing for like 20 minutes straight. The mix of Mr. Beast copycat editing and the total lack of self-awareness is truly one of a kind. This is the best video ever made on the planet. Imagine telling children without the internet that they will have access to the world's largest source of information and resources will be imperative to their potential. When he went into someone's house and started criticizing it, yeah, this is crazy. He's like, people actually live like this? It's like, yeah, this guy's living in a tarp.
Yeah, people actually live here. Oh my gosh, this is an actual house. Look at all the kids outside waiting. Hello!
All the kids of the neighborhood came and surrounded me, but I didn't know why.
They don't let my hand live. They are still following us, that's it.
On our way to the hotel, our guide suddenly noticed that we were running out of gas.
There is 1 kilometer line that the cars are waiting to put gas, and there is no gas. They're waiting for gas that's not even there. I never experienced something like this.
After a lot of phone calls, finally he found a friend that gave him some gas, and we were on
Great, dude. They're in like a gas hellscape. Like there's no gas anywhere. Dude has the wealth to pay more than 50 cents for a haircut, and he still didn't. The lack of self-awareness in this video is staggering. I mean, this is pretty funny. Like, if he actually...
Here, Nasim, come. They do this, and they okay, put it down.
So now he's looking at pigs.
This is the toilet here, Nasim, come. They do this, and they shit like this, probably. I'm learning so much. It's like the best day of my life. This is like
yeah, this is the best day. This is tourism. There's gonna be like they're just gonna put a giant glass like dome around Africa, and it's gonna be like there's gonna be like ships flying around, and it's gonna be like, hey, please don't tap on the glass. It's like the impoverished country does not like you to tap on the glass. Now please step away from the glass and let them do their thing. And this guy's like tour. He is touring. He chose this place because it was poor. Poverty tourism is the newest big hit. Newest big hit in the world is poverty tourism. I for one, I probably wouldn't feel that safe. And it's interesting because the more people that tour a place, the less poverty it gets. So it's like, because it's like fueled by the tourism. So it would eventually become not impoverished. And then, interestingly enough, once those funds dried up, they would become impoverished again. But it would become like a new like pseudo impoverished, like if Vegas went out of like. If Vegas just became like kind of a hellscape of poverty, like they banned gambling and everything just like dried up there, and it just becomes like some sort of like people are like shooting each other in the streets and no one really cares because it's Las Vegas. People start touring there, and but the tours are like on tracks. Like they put you on a track, like a bus or like a train, and the train's in a glass bubble, so you can't. So they can't get in, and they can't stop the train, and they can't damage the tracks or anything. So you're just rich people on tracks, and it like stops. Every stop it has like another little big bubble, so you can kind of walk around and look at the people doing their thing, and then get back on. Hey, train departs in 15 minutes. Take a look around. Don't touch anything. Don't tap. Please don't tap on the glass. I've said this twice. And then get back on, and we're gonna go on to Yugoslavia next, and check that out. So, but yeah, I love this video. And of course, he had to start a GoFundMe. Let's see how much his GoFundMe has raised. $15,000.
According to United Nations, Burundi is the worst poorest country. And when I went there, it was shocking for me to see how poor they are living. They don't have access to clean water, to food, to medicines, and a lot of other necessary things that we've been blessed with. And that's why we want to help.
Dude. Mr. Beast and his this is Mr. Beast and his consequences in the world. I've said this before, but Mr. Beast is going to turn out to be the worst thing that's ever happened to this nation and probably the world. He might be the mark of the beast. He's literally the mark of the beast. He is Mr. Beast. Wait, I have a couple videos from Mr. Beast actually that I thought were pretty funny. These are TikToks that we're gonna skip ahead here and do them out of order.
If I give you $100, would you go to the?
So this is Mr. Beast, and so if you don't know who Mr. Beast is, and I don't know how you don't, he gives money to people because he's like rich and he gets paid by advertisers or something.
If I give you $100, would you go to the Arctic Circle and give me a present from Santa? No. If
Hell
I
no.
give you $500, would you fly across the world to give me a present from Santa? Like right now? Literally right now.
So this girl's on her way to the Arctic Circle. I doubt she's actually in the Arctic Circle, but
Gift for Mr. Beast.
gift for Mr. Beast.
I got it. I got it.
So now they're flying her back. But so he pays these people to just be in his video and whatnot. So I think there was another one. Oh yeah, this one's pretty good too. But he like crushes, like imagine the crushing weight of this decision that this guy's about to make. Listen. So Mr. Beast, so this guy's working at Walmart. And so you have to put yourself into his perspective. You're working at Walmart, your shift's halfway up, you've got an earbud in, you're 5 seconds from drive, like you're thinking about maybe today when I drive home, I'm gonna hit 120 and go straight into that off ramp exit. I'm just gonna ram that bridge. That bridge pillar, I'm going to just hit it straight on. I got to hit 120. Today's the day. I'm not even going to wear my seatbelt. I have a higher chance of dying. So that's you, your stocking shelves, and that's what's going through your head. You're like, well, my life kind of sucks. And today, and I know this because I did a job, and I mean, it's retail, so you're dealing with customers coming up to you and being like, hey, can you help me find this item, whatever, and then they're like, oh, you guys don't have it, can you check the back, and you check the back, and then they're like, well, can I see if the manager has it stored somewhere, whatever. You just want it's a grueling job. And so it's a grueling job. The one hope that you have is Mr. Beast right here. Mr. Beast walks down your aisle, this guy's cleaning up, walks down the aisle, and he asks you a question, and you're like, I've just hit I just hit the jackpot here.
How old are you?
5'11", 6 foot.
If I measure you and you're actually 6 foot, I'll give you $10,000 in cash. Do you want us to measure you?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna need you to take your shoes off.
Without shoes, it might be a little shorter.
Bring out the tape measure. 10 grand if this is accurate.
What did you say you were?
5'11".
Oh, what? Looking at a 5'10".
Really? Ooh, this is awkward. $10,000 on the line.
Oh, awkward. You don't get $10,000. Oops. You go back to a boring, soul-crushing job.
Is he 6 foot tall?
Probably not.
Oh, well, I'm gonna let you pick. Do we include your hair or do we not include your hair?
I'm gonna say include.
Okay, I'm gonna go right here. He is literally exactly 6 feet tall. You're lucky we made you take your shoes off. Here is $10,000 in cash.
Straight away. Shake my hand right now.
It's yours.
I can walk away with this right now.
I already gave it to you.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Shake my hand and get it.
It's your money, I promise.
Nice. Mr. Beast helping a man. That other guy who did not get to $10,000 because he was 1 inch away is Mr. Beast should be held directly responsible if that man goes postal and brings a fully automatic weapon to his office or to the workplace, to the Walmart. Mr. Beast should be held responsible. Someone needs to hold that man responsible. You can't have that much money and just like start giving it away Some people don't get it. Some people do. It's a lottery system. People are going to get violent. I feel like maybe one of these days you don't give the money to the wrong so you don't give the money. So you interview the wrong person and they lose the money and something bad will happen. Something very, very bad. Something that will end up on the news in several states. It might be a federal level event due to Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast will be subpoenaed in an event of mass destruction. And it's a spiral because he has to bring more money, like $10,000. Yeah, next time it's going to be 100. There's a breaking point where if someone they have a briefcase in their hand, they answer a question wrong, the briefcase is taken away. There's a breaking point. There's a dollar amount that will break that person. For me, it would probably be that $10,000. If they said, "Hey, how tall are you?" and I said, "Oh, I'm 5'7", they make me take my shoes off, and I'm like, "Oh well, not now." They measure me. I'm 5'6", and you know I have the $10,000 in my hand, and then he takes it. And then post it on TikTok, and everyone's like, the next day, everyone's like, "Dude, you had 10,000. You met Mr. Beast, and you didn't even know your height. You ain't even know your height." Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I would do anything violent. I would never do anything violent. But Mr. Beast, one of these days, is going to end up on subpoenaed for something. It's going to be bad, and I'm just going to be I like to keep eyes out there, and it'll be interesting. Like, there's no way that are these actors? I guess the only way that doesn't happen is if these guys are actors, right? And he gives them money. He gives them like $5,000 instead of $10,000, and they're like, just pretend that you're happy of getting $10,000, right? And then the other guy, they're like, "Yeah, we're going to give you $5,000 anyways. Just act disappointed when we take this away." I mean, that's something that could happen, and that's probably best case scenario. But if these people are just chosen at random, you're not doing psychology background checks, like, one of these times, Mr. Beast, heed my warning. He's going to start some sort of weird, it's going to be bad. I saw Mr. Beast. He posted on his he came out with a new chocolate bar, and he posted on his Twitter. He's like, "Hey guys, if you could do me a major favor, please, if you see these candy bars disorderly in your Walmart, can you just straighten them up for me?" So then everyone started responding, and they're like, "Hey man, you have $2 million to give away a day for your TikTok. How about you pay someone to do it for you?" So now people are going into Walmarts and breaking and smashing all of his chocolates, which I respect, because I don't trust the dude. The dude's trying to cure blindness. I don't trust that, as even close to trusting that at all. At all. All I'm saying, Mr. Beast, stay away from. I mean, don't stay away from me. Come towards me. I'll do whatever you want. Mr. Beast starts like a human centipede or something. Last one to leave the human centipede wins. I've never seen that movie, but I know that's gross and violent, so I imagine that's the end game of Mr. Beast. Okay. Wall Street Journal. Elon Musk is planning to build his own town. Okay, so now we've gone from Mr. Beast, which is like... So Mr. Beast is rich, but Elon Musk is like more rich Mr. Beast. Elon Musk is like... Except Mr. Beast doesn't... Or Elon Musk doesn't give away any of his money, which is... in a way, kind of makes him more human. Because you're like, I can't fathom having $1 billion. First off, I can't fathom that, but I can't fathom having that money and then giving it away, right? Now, something about Mr. Beast giving away his money comes off as, to me, as highly suspicious. Highly suspicious. And he like records every good deed that he does. I'm sure that he donates or like builds trees or something. But so Elon Musk is building his own town, which is pretty cool. Elon Muskville. I don't know what it's going to be called, but that would be cool. Muskville. Hey man, I'm in Muskville. So he's a billionaire. Yeah, Elon Musk, you know him. Companies, now owns Twitter. They've been acquiring thousands of acres in land in Texas with the hope of starting a town with his employees could live and work, according to the report from Wall Street Journal Thursday. Musk in 2020 announced that he was going to move Tesla's headquarters from California to Texas, blaming frustrations with California's coronavirus-related restrictions. Last year, Tesla opened a new gigafactory in Austin. So, I mean, so he builds a town. So he's building a town for all of the employees so the interesting thing about this is then you get into like slave theory. Like, so now you work for a company and you live in that company's town and you like, I guess, shop. He's buying thousands of acres. So you probably shop at that company's, that town's shops, and you pay rent to the company that so you are almost almost everything you're doing is going back into the company. So you're decreasing like how much they're paying you, really much, like kind of. So if you live where the company tells you to live and you like shop at all the company shops just because they're convenient and maybe you get a good discount, all of a sudden it gets a little bit, what is it, sharecropping? What is it, sharecropping? What is that? What is a sharecrop? I feel like, why do I feel like that might not be the right word? Okay. Okay, history.com. What is a sharecrop? I know this was a slave term. Is a type of farming in which families rent small plots of land from a landowner in return for a portion of their crop to be given to the landowner at the end of the year. Okay, so I mean it's kind of like reverse sharecropping. Maybe. So I don't know. I don't really know. But yeah, Elon Musk making his own town. We'll update this. It's interesting. It definitely has potential to be epic. Let's see. Let's just move on to child labor. I cannot skip this because this is Arkansas. This is my home. Arkansas governor signs bill rolling back child labor protections. So this is Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Arkansas Republican government Sarah Huckabee Sanders signed a bill into law this week that rolls back the number of child labor protections across the state, including a measure that required employers to obtain both certificates for children, to attain work certification for ticket. I'm done. Employers to obtain work certificates for children under the age of 16. The governor believes protecting kids is the most important, but that you gotta love but. So this is like a quote, I guess, from Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She says, "I believe that protecting kids is the most important, but this permit was an arbitrary burden on the parents to get permission from the government for their child to get a job." Sanders' spokesperson Alexa Henning said in a statement, "All children labor laws are actually protect children still apply, and we expect businesses to comply as they are required to do so." Previously, minors under the age of 16 needed to verify their age and get written consent of a parent or guardian before work. Certificate before a work certificate could be issued to the state's Division of Labor. The bill's passage comes after Biden administration announced last month that plans to crack down on labor exploitation of migrant children. Well, okay, here we go. This is interesting. So now kids finally back to work. That's what has been missing in this economy. This is what needs to happen. We need a good jump start. This economy needs to bring out the jaws of life on this economy. Start getting the kids out there cleaning chimneys. Start getting their, fingers chopped off in sewing machines. This is what we need. This is what will save the economy. I fully support this. Get the kids out there. Get them doing hard labor jobs, 12, 16, 18-hour shifts. I'm talking doubles, triples, graveyard shifts, skeleton crews. This is where the children belong. Take them out of school. Don't even ask the kids if they want to be in school. Put them in jobs first and then be like, oh yeah, school's also an option. The kids start preschool is just like job training. They're taking job application tests and stuff all day. Hoping to secure a position because jobs will be so rare that instead of actually going to school, kids will just be training for a single job that they hope to get. And then once they turn 14, they're like, yes, I got my job that I'm going to be in for 48 years until I jump off the roof because of my severe crippling depression. They get it out. We do away with the whole college argument stops because people are like, oh yeah, why am I going to college to pick my degree when there are no jobs? So how about we just rewind it? No one needs college. Everyone just trains for the job that they're given at the age of 7. And then when they turn 16, they have that job for the rest of their life. Look, this is such a good situation. It takes away the stress. Look, listen, I can hear it now. Hey guys, isn't the stress of choosing your own course in life way too much? Don't you hate having to change your degree 4, 5, 6 times, right? You can't decide between, oh, I want to be a music major. Oh, but man, I kind of like this math class. I think I'm going to change it to science, whatever, general science. Now I have a general science. And now you're in college for 5 years, right? And you haven't gotten a degree. We're fixing that. And you're going to get your degree. How about this? Free college, but you take all your college courses in high school. Right? So going all through middle school and junior high or whatever, you're taking these classes and then you choose your degree when you're 14 and then you instantly start training for the job that you want. And those years in high school, those are your that's when you get your associate's degree. Look, guys, this isn't dystopian. This is the future that you want. This is the future we need. It's a self-sustaining economy here. But so yeah, Arkansas girl boss moment from Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She really girl bossed the fuck out of child labor, I'd say. All right, let's go into some TikToks here. All right, let's start off with this one. This is a DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled, I've kind of gone into a bit of a DJ Khaled rabbit hole here, so we're in a K-hole. DJ Khaled, we're in a literal K-hole. DJ Khaled hole. Here we go.
Always remember, they work 24 hours.
So now, I don't think he's actually talking about the Kanye they, but he might be. I'm not too sure.
Always remember, they work 24 hours. So do we. We won't let they win, we will.
We won't let they win, we will. So, I mean, I kind of decipher what he's trying to say here. He's saying that, you know, your ops, your opponents, the people that are out for you, the people that you're competing against, they're working round the clock, so you should too.
Always remember, they work 24 hours. So do we. We won't let they win, we will.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kanye West. A little bit of inspiration from Kanye. Okay, this is an interesting one. Anytime a TikTok starts off with kind of casual schizophrenia, it's going to be interesting. So this lady is I'll just let her go through it because obviously she has an issue here.
Okay, if you're new, my husband and I both have schizophrenia. And for some reason, mine has just like really been like up and popping recently. I was cleaning the bakery and
this video has like 12 million views, by the way. Not even kidding.
there was a cookie on the sales floor. We give out free cookies, right? And now I'm trying to figure out which customer was a hallucination because I must have handed a cookie to no one. It even had the pink paper that I wrapped it in. It's so funny to me.
Oh God, what a nightmare hellscape of a world we live in. What a nightmarish world. This is like, you know why this doesn't seem sci-fi or this doesn't seem post-apocalyptic is because actually people back then they weren't even creative enough to write about like people posting literal schizophrenic people becoming viral on the biggest social media app, which by the way is literally siphoning everyone's information all the time off of your phone. But the main thing that makes her famous is her not even latent schizophrenia, a blatant schizophrenia. So that's her big thing. You know, like last time I said that there always has to be one thing because everything is so crowded. Everything is so crowded in the world. You have, you know, 1 million people have an OnlyFans. So the one person that has cancer and OnlyFans is like, hey man, that's kind of your marketing shtick. Now go with it, run with it, market yourself as the cancer, the hot cancer girl, right? Bald head, keep on going, start posting that stuff. So now it's like you have to market yourself. You have to find, like, the only people that become famous now are like either the top 1.001% of the most handsome people or the most pretty, sexy people, or the bottom 0.001 of like ugly people. So like the only, like it's only the massive polar opposites. There's no just average Joes. Like I feel like I'm kind of an average Joe, just online talking into a mic, maybe latent schizophrenia, maybe. But so this lady, she's like a content creator. She's like the schizophrenic TikToker, which is cool. It's cool that that's a thing. So I'm excited for the future because it's only going to have to be, you're only going to have to be more crazy. Like you're going to have to become like, I don't know. It's like an actual terrorist is like a TikTok star, like an open jihadist, like a Taliban member is like a TikTok star. Just the most extreme things ever just becomes popular on TikTok. It'll be interesting. Like I said, I mean, it's like hard to predict even what's going to happen because first off, I don't even know if TikTok will be like banned by the government soon or what, but I don't know if the economy will collapse and my rent here will go from whatever $800 to $2,000. I'm going to be on the street doing a podcast from the street. It's hard to predict now. Like usually, like like when I started this podcast, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of it's easy to predict a vague, like, yeah, people in the future are gonna be like, there's gonna be way more homeless. Like, okay, yeah, there's gonna be more homeless. Who cares? But it's like hard to predict what's gonna happen even 5 years from now. Like, is no one gonna have a job because of AI? Who's gonna get us first? Is it gonna be AI? Is it gonna be the actual economy and like actual starvation? Is it gonna be some sort of war on the verge, like some maybe a secret invasion, the likes of Marvel, you know, like secret spec ops insider, you know, psyop situation where they frame false flag. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen in the next 5 years? It's gonna be a roller coaster, that's for sure. And I promise one thing. And I promise you this, and if there's one thing that you can hold true, if I don't die by like the CIA or something, I doubt that I'm on their radar, but I will 100% document myself through the events that unfold. Thank you for listening. Bye.